fish cleaning area. What's up everybody, and welcome to another video with the Georgia Assassin. Today I'm going to be showing you how I skin catfish. Let's go.
That's an old hose. Oh.
Alright, so we had a successful trout lining trip today. We got some catfish. And there are a lot of ways to skin catfish, whether you're going to pan fry them or if you're going to fillet them and chop them up and deep fry them. Today I'm going to be filleting these fish because they're big enough. And I'm going to show you how I do it. There's a lot of ways to do this, but this is just how I do it. Almost forgot, let me take you through what I got here. I've got two knives. One's a $5 Walmart knife. One is a Berkeley knife, fillet knife that I've had for a long time. They're both fillet knives. I've got me a Pyrex bowl to put my fillets in. I've got me a trash can on standby. And I've got water hose ready. I've got my kids here with me also, so if you hear something milling around in the background, that's my kiddos. Alright. Addie, come around and watch the monitor for me, make sure it's where it needs to be. We'll start with this bad boy. Go ahead and remove the hook. Just caught these fish a few hours ago, and as you all know, it's been real difficult to get really anything going. The only thing that people can do here in Georgia is go to boat ramps and parks. So needless to say, it makes it hard to get out there with so many people, especially if you're going to do trout lining. Alright, so here's how I do this. I'm going to start with this $5 Walmart knife. And I like these knives because they have a lot of flex to them. The cheaper the knife, the more flex it has, and in my experience, it's a little bit thicker than the Berkeley, but the flex is what you want to get a good fillet out of it. Oh, forgot to add, I'm going to be using some catfish skin pullers. These are really old. I don't even know how they'll work, but we'll be using these also. Jackson, come touch the fish, man. You have to make sure you wash your hands. They're slimy.
I feel like, oh my god. Is this the mom that we caught? Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Just take a step back, Jack. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a cut. So when you hold a catfish, they have these bones right behind their front fins. I call that the shoulder. That's the best place if you're going to pick up a catfish. Go in front of this fin here, because it will get you. It will sting you, as it's so called. Push it down, grab it by those shoulders, and that's how you pick up catfish. Put your fingers under the front fins, put pressure on these shoulders, and you'll feel the bones right there. So what you want to do is I start at those shoulders and I cut in. Go kind of all the way around. Alright, the next thing you're going to want to do is take your knife and cut you a V around that first fin, the upper fin. And something I like to do is go in here and just make a little notch right under the skin here. That way you're not pulling this meat off as bad as you would, because if you make your first cuts deep, this skin right here, the meat here, has a tendency of pulling back with your skin when you pull it off. So make a cut there, just kind of flip that skin back, and then that's pretty much how we start the process. Alright, so I'm going to grab that piece of skin where I've cut it back a little bit. You can see that hopefully. Where I cut it back here. I'm going to grab it with my pullers, and you can use a pair of pliers for this. You don't have to have these pullers, but they're cheap, and they're available at Walmart any day. We're going to pull this skin off, throw it in the trash. And sometimes you get a good pull on the skin, sometimes you don't. Like I'm showing you here. And you just grab the skin where you can, and just continue to pull it off. same on the other side. Try not to grab the meat. A little bit of meat's pulling with us, so I'm going to cut that meat off. Fillet it down a little bit so we don't lose any of our hard-earned meat. And it's been weird today. It's 40-something degrees, so it's kind of abnormally cool. What's today, Addie girl? Today's what?
Today's April 10th.
Today's April the 10th, and it's 48 degrees right now. Alright, so then once you get the skin peeled off your catfish, you're just going to take your blade. That's what I do. And again, right there where your shoulder is, you see where I cut. And I cut at an angle back towards the belly. I'm going to take my fillet knife. I'm going to cut through here. Try to get as much meat off of them as you can. You can feel, I can feel those ribs right there. You just want to kind of skate across those ribs, and then you see where it drops to where you're getting to your meat layer. As soon as you hit those bones, just want to keep that. I'm putting a lot of pressure down on this knife, so it'll just follow that fillet all the way to the tail. Just cut clean through, and there is your fillet.
Clean slice.
Clean slice. All right. Flip your catfish over. You see there's very little meat left on there. I mean, you can go back through and cut this. This is usually where a lot of yellow meat is, because it's got a high fat content. We'll go ahead and cut that nugget off. Makes people weirded out because you generally it's like a yellow color. So you may want to cut that off just for visual. But we'll keep it. We want to keep everything we can off these fish. We've been waiting a long time to have a catfish fry. All right, and as they're expiring, they're gonna put their, I don't know what you call them, their barbs out. You can see this barb right here, and what you can do, if those make you nervous, or if that one makes you nervous, just take your needle nose pliers. If you're gonna keep the fish and fillet it, and cut those off. You know, if you're worried about getting stuck, or if it poses a problem while you're filleting them. Next time we're gonna do the same way. We're gonna skate down the ribs. Try not to get any bones in there. Same thing, keep your blade bent. I like to bend my blade, that way I get as much meat as possible. Get that off. There you go, another primo fillet. Throw that in our bucket. We're gonna go back and cut this nugget off. At the top right there, that's what we would have lost with the skin had we not made our little cut to back it off. So I'll go ahead and tell you, if you're going to pan fry this, if it's not the size to fillet, if it's a pound, you'll do it the same way. You'll make these cuts. I'll make my V. That just assists you in pulling your skin off. So after you pull your skin off, you'll go ahead and split the belly, take the guts out, which I'll show you here in a second. And then you're gonna take your knife and you're just gonna break the spine here. You'll put pressure on both ends, break it, and throw the head away, and then you've got a perfect pan frying option. All right, so for those of you who like to use the belly meat, the belly meat is delicious. You usually need a pretty big fish to use the belly meat. We've got a couple bigger ones in the cooler here, but the belly meat is good. If you want to try it, cut before the fins here. See that big chunk of meat right there? Cut this big chunk of meat out. No, there's no babies in the belly of this fish.
Is that a heart?
Yep, that's its internal organs, heart and air sac and all that good stuff. Alright, and there's your belly meat. Couple good, real tender chunks of meat there. Alright, I'm going to show you one more time. This is ready to go in the garbage can. Alright, we're going to get the next fillet. You can probably hear that wind. It's really windy today. Alright, we're going to go ahead and knock out this big channel cat. I'm going to remove my hook. Addie's all this catching in the frame, in the camera?
Yes.
Go ahead and remove that hook. I'm just gonna hang it on my trash can to go back in my trout line bucket. For those of you who have not seen my trout line bucket video, I'll put a card up top. Click on that and you'll see how I store my trout lines. Alright, so here we go, same deal. This is a much bigger, this is a 5-pound channel cat. Pretty good size one. Here we go. Grab him by the shoulders. That's how you know that metal, that bone right there, right behind its rear fin. We're gonna cut down. Go straight across down to the other one. We're gonna make our V tight on that the center of his back, so we don't lose any meat. We're gonna go ahead and make our cut here, so we can grab a little better with our tool. This is a pretty big one. I'm having a hard time getting my hand around him.
And the fun fact about this fish is when we caught him, he had lost an eye already.
These big ones, if you have a place where you can hang them and pull the, use your downward force, make it a little bit easier to pull them off, because these big ones, the skin, it's pretty difficult to remove. Oh, got a cramp. Haven't drank enough water today, team.
I can't believe we caught a male that lost an eye. Yeah.
Yeah, right now they should have eggs. If it's a female.
I think that had a fight with a guard.
All right, we got the skin removed. This is a really fast process. After this fish, I'm gonna keep recording, keep you with me. I'm just gonna speed up the process and go from teach mode to actual get her done mode. So we're gonna go here and cut down rib cage. You'll feel the blade start to level off with the center of the fish versus the wider portion of the fish here. Keep pressure all the way down. There you go, there's your fillet. We'll take this nugget off again. There you go. Other side. This would be a good idea to go ahead and clip these off, because it makes it an inconvenience to fillet them. You'll know if you're filleting it right, because your blade is going to lay directly above this anal fin. There you go, another nice white fillet. I'll go ahead and tell you that within your fillets, after you wash them off and everything, if you see any red meat, cut that out. That's what tastes muddy on these fish, but generally when you catch them in cold water, the fillets, in my opinion, taste better. Missed a little bit there, so I'm gonna go back and clean that up. A couple little bites. I'm gonna get this. Now this is a good one to get the belly meat off of. Grab this nugget. There we go. And I'll go ahead and get the belly meat off of this one. He's got a significant amount of meat here, cut above those rear, above those fins.
Organs.
I think these are all males so far. They're out trying to get ready for the spawn. All right, that's it. Number 2 is done. Look at those fillets. I'll clean them up a little bit more before we cook them, but needless to say, there will be a fish fry tonight. First catfish of the year, 2020. Today's April the what? 6th? April the 10th. And got her done with shrimp. Alright, well hopefully you guys got something out of this. There's a lot of ways to skin a catfish, but this is just the way that I do it. It's about to be on. Fish are biting, thank God. Yeah, thanks for watching. And by the way, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. I just made it to 100 subscribers. It took me 9 months, but I made it, so it's something I'm really proud of. Consider doing a giveaway for my first 100 subscribers. So stay tuned for a video coming up with information about that. Probably gonna give away some catfish bait, some sinkers and stuff like that. So please stay tuned, and thank you for subscribing. I'll see you on the next one.